Love is an incredible feeling. It makes people feel incredibly happy, but at the same time, it can be an endless source of suffering. Love has inspired great masterpieces, feats, and all kinds of romantic gestures, and sometimes it also connects very different people. People who are hard to imagine together. But hey, who are we to judge, right? Everyone deserves to experience love. That's why we want to tell you the stories of some very lucky people who found their soulmates. If you are ready to be surprised, amazed, and excited, then Amelia Jennings, a super fat woman, has learned to love her curves with the help of her average sized husband, Amalie Jennings. Originally from Denmark, lives in Hertfordshire, UK, with her British husband, Sean. Amelie first met her husband Sean on an online video game in 2008. Most people in the couple's lives have been accepting of their mixed weight relationship. However, they have had to cut contact with Sean's father. The couple met online 11 years ago when they struck up a friendship on PlayStation. I hadn't had luck with boyfriends before, Amelie said. With online relationships, you get to know people in a different way. We had seen pictures of each other, but he didn't care. You could see how fat I was in the pictures, but he kept talking to me, and we became best friends really fast. It took a while before we realized we were in love with each other. We started a long-distance relationship. We met in person after a year. He loved me and my body for how my body is. Monica Riley. Everyone in today's world is trying to get slim with all possible means. Looking slim with perfect physique has become a must in today's generation. But on the contrary, this US-based woman wants to make the record the fattest girl alive. 27-year-old Monica Riley is determined to achieve her goal of becoming the fattest person alive. She is making her life on the edge of risk because of her dream. After having a discussion with her boyfriend about the future, Monica is still confident about carrying a baby and raising it with the help of a nanny. Without giving much thought about people's opinions, Monica believes that they would be good parents. Monica's average diet daily includes 6 American scones, sausages and bread rolls, a big bowl of sugary cereal, 2 weight gain shakes, 4 McChicken sandwiches, 4 double cheeseburgers, large french fries, 30 chicken McNuggets, macaroni cheese, Taco Bell takeaways, and a gallon of ice cream. Jolison Fernandez da Silva. Love is known to be blind, but love happens when you least expect it. This 7-foot 8-inch man who lives in Brazil was so embarrassed by his height that he hid at home for half his life. But he has finally found love with a woman 3 feet shorter than him. According to Mirror, Jolison Fernandez da Silva developed giganticism as a child and grew so rapidly he was forced to drop out of school due to bullying and refused to leave the family house for years. But after a successful surgery, Silva's condition is under control and he has now found happiness by marrying 5-foot Evam Medeiros. Silva, who has been referred to as a gentle giant, is officially Brazil's tallest man. Jolison was quoted saying, "The day I saw her, I think it was love at first sight. Height is the least of their obstacles." Philip Elling. Philip Elling was born in Australia 30 years ago with muscular dystrophy, a disease that causes progressive weakness and loss of muscle mass. So from the age of 5, he had to use a wheelchair. Fast forward to 2012 when Philip published his first book, Life is What You Make It. On page 74 is a quote by him predicting that someone would love him wholeheartedly. Then, in dream come true fashion, one Susan Ngo walked into the company he was working for in January 2017. Born and raised in Elbergen, Nakuru County, Susan has moved to Adelaide, Australia 2 years earlier for studies. Meeting for the first time, the two instantly became friends, exchanged contacts, a first coffee date was arranged, and what followed was a whirlwind romance. I just took it that he was a gentleman who had full passion of life and more falling in love with me. The way he carried himself was all that overwhelmed me. I did not hesitate. I had my eyes on him because the connection was very strong. Njogu explained. He invited me out for coffee, and you can imagine my surprise when I found his mother sitting with him. She was also part of our meeting. Now, I was a bit nervous at first, but it turned out great," she added. Tom Crutchfield. Tom Crutchfield is 70 years old and has been with his 37-year-old beloved Stacy for almost 4 years. The couple got to know each other when Stacy began working on Tom's reptile farm in Homestead, Florida, where the pair now live and work together. Tom told Barcroft TV, "It's the best thing that ever happened to me in a long, long time. I'm super happy. We know we won't have as much time as some others would have together, but we will make the best out of whatever time we have. There is only one way to live, and that's one day at a time. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of not living enough while I'm alive." The retired professional herpetologist grew close to Stacy when she came to work on his farm after switching from a 10-year career in the medical field. Stacy initially contacted Tom through Facebook in 2010 when her iguana needed medical help, but it wasn't until several years later when she came to visit. Stacy said, "I just really needed a change, and Tom needed help around the farm and stuff. And within a week, I just packed up whatever fit in my little car and drove from Connecticut to Florida." She had to kiss a lot of frogs before finding her dog. Elizabeth Hode. Former swimsuit model Elizabeth Hode, 49, went on live television Tuesday in the UK to wed her 6-year-old golden retriever, Logan. "I found the one, and I love him," she says. Hode, for Mascot Berkshire, was a swimsuit model in the 80s, and her relationships with stars, the likes of golfer Steve Ballesteros and Formula One driver James Hunt. But after a slew of unsuccessful dates over the years, some 221, she recalls, and giving birth to a son, now 25, Hode decided the only man she could count on was her loyal Logan. Hode and her lucky pup appeared on British morning talk show This Morning to say "I do" live in front of thousands of viewers. "All that I have in my doggy treat cupboard I promise to give to you," says Hode, who is joined by British broadcasters Ruth and Eamon Holmes, with This Morning host Alison Hammond officiating, and past Love Island UK winner Kem Setene as best man. Akihiko Kondo. Akihiko Kondo doesn't have the air of a rebel. This year, however, the bespectacled school administrator bucked conventional norms. He married a hologram. Kondo's November wedding to cyber celebrity Hatsune Miku, which is not legally recognized, provoked mixed reactions in Japan and abroad. Some were dumbfounded by his choice of a three-dimensional laser image over a human. Others congratulated him. But the 35-year-old, whose Spartan home on the outskirts of Tokyo is dotted with plush Miku dolls and paraphernalia, doesn't care what others think. He simply did what made him happy. Society pressures you to follow a certain formula for love, but it might not make you happy, Kondo told CNN. "I want people to be able to figure out what works for them." He even has a marriage certificate issued by Gatebox stating that a human and a virtual character have wed beyond dimensions. As bizarre and crazy as Kondo's story sounds, he is not the only one in love with the character. Gatebox says it has issued 3,700 such certificates, although Kondo was reportedly the first to have held an actual wedding ceremony. "It won't necessarily make you happy to be bound to the template of happiness in which a man and a woman marry and bear children," said Kondo. "I believe we must consider all kinds of love and all kinds of happiness." Amanda Teague. Joheja woman Amanda Teague married Haitian pirate Jack Teague, despite the fact that he died by execution in the 18th century. Speaking on Ireland AM this week, Teague explained that spiritual marriages are very popular and legal in Haiti in that spirits can touch and communicate similarly to the ways the living can. The pair were married in international waters after Teague discovered that having a relationship with a spirit was possible. "It was kind of like a situation where you have a crush on somebody you can't have, be it a celebrity, a friend's boyfriend or husband," she said. "In January, he said to me, 'Do you think about me like that?' I knew exactly what he meant. I was quite embarrassed, really." They decided to get married in a spiritual wedding more than a year later, learning that she only needed to submit paperwork to make an overseas marriage legal. Amanda decided to charter a ship that would bring her and her 12 closest friends and family members into international waters.